Junior.
Alright, hey, this is Ben at Suburban Food Farm. We're in San Diego, California today, and we're looking at a tree that was a Prunus cercifera, a ornamental red leaf plum that we've now converted into a multi-grafted edible tree. So we've got 5 different varieties on this tree, mainly peaches, and we're looking to have an extended harvest of peaches. So if you take a little bit closer, what I want to show is some of the maintenance that you need to do after the tree has been grafted for just a little bit of time. So for example, I noticed that this piece of the branch right here is starting to die back, so I'm going to go ahead and just prune that off. So it's definitely dead, so just get rid of that. I can see that this is a graft that broke off, so I'm going to actually come through and I'm going to cut this off right here with an appropriate tool, so a saw or some loppers. So I'll get that out after this video here. I can go ahead and remove the parafilm lightly if needed. It just is a little bit less space for pests to make a home. And I'm going to go ahead and also remove my green tape at this time if it hasn't been removed already. So just a small slice there. I don't want to cut myself. And so then the green tape comes off. And you can see that the graft was clearly successful. We have a ton of growth on the other side there. So this is our graft after year one that didn't work there. That's okay. We put 6 varieties on and we have 5 that worked. So 5 out of 6 is fine. And then same thing here. Just remove this tape. And then you'll see that there's actually a bit of fruit on this branch already. So now is the perfect time to be thinning this. So the general rule of thumb for stone fruits is to start at the tip, move back, and keep about 1 fruit every 6 inches or so. You never let a branch carry more than it can actually bear. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this one because it's close to the tip. So I'm just going to twist it and drop it. Remove that little fruit there. Remove this little fruit here. And let's let it keep maybe 1 fruit or 2 fruits. So I'm going to let this one stay and maybe this one down here at the bottom, and I'm going to take everything else off. And so again, this is just a very small branch. I don't want it to waste any energy on fruit. I want it to get nice and strong, and I don't want it to break on me. So this year, I just want to have 1 or 2 fruit just to taste it, to get some gratification from that. But I don't want to load it up with too much because again, we're not, this graft could still break this year. So next year, I'll let it carry a whole ton more fruit. You'll notice that on this one over here, it might be sort of hard to see, but the graft, we had 1 bud that really clearly took off. So there was 1, 2, 3 buds on the graft. So 1, 2, 3 on this side. And since these ones didn't take, I'm going to go ahead and just prune that off. This branch is growing back towards the center of the tree, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that because it's not growing in the right direction. Same thing down here. Go ahead and remove that now. And I'm going to go ahead and remove. Similar situation on the bottom, just taking off the piece that didn't send up any growth. And so I'm going to go ahead and just keep removing the green tape at this point. I'm also going to go ahead and thin this side. So this is the apricot variety that we put on, and you can see how many apricots are on here. This is ridiculous. So let's pick out which ones we're going to keep. So we're going to keep, I think here's this one sizing up pretty well, so let's keep that one. Everything else is going to go. So I think pollination won't be an issue here. So the other benefit of a multi-grafted tree is you're going to get a ton of pollination. So let's see if there's maybe another fruit that we want to leave on. Maybe I'll leave one right here on this branch. And so I'm leaving them as sort of closer to the main part of the trunk for strength. Just taking all these off. There we go. Same thing over here. This is another peach branch. Let's let it maybe keep 1 fruit. So I'm going to keep this one right here, I guess. And all the others are coming off. Just pull that right off. So we're down to just 1 fruit over here for that variety. 2 fruits for this one over on this side. A couple that I missed. And this one here doesn't look like we have any. Well, no, we do have some fruit sitting up here. So I'm going to go ahead and let those form a little bit more fully before I decide which ones to keep and which ones to eliminate. This should be a pretty strong branch. It's growing pretty upright, and you can see it's already thickened up a bit. So we're just going to continue doing our little bit of maintenance that we need to do at this time. So I'm just removing my green tape. Making a nice incision there, and then getting that to come off. And so you see these branches, they're already labeled, so that's another thing to make sure that you do in the first year. I highly recommend at the time of grafting, go ahead and either take photos, write it down in a notebook, or even just shoot a video with all the different varieties. So many times I've come back to trees and we don't know what they are. And that may seem sort of inconsequential, but you want to know what you're eating. In case somebody asks you, or you're maybe considering buying another tree in the future, you want to know what you have, because then you can do research on it. You can figure out if you have a pest problem. You can figure out what that particular variety or cultivar might be susceptible to, for example. So definitely a big fan of keeping everything labeled as much as you can for those purposes. Another couple cuts right here just to remove a branch that's growing towards the inner part of the tree. I'm going to make the decision to remove this branch here on the apricot. I already thinned it, but it's going to interfere with other branches in the future, so it's going to be gone. And so you'll notice that I have a nice radial pattern on this tree now, and the only work that's left is just to keep removing a little of the green tape, and I'm going to make a nice clean cut right here. And so I've established a real nice open base shape here for this particular stone fruit tree that has 5 different varieties on it now. I'm going to have harvest from as early as May. I have a peach that will ripen in May. I have another peach that will ripen in August. So, we have a tree that's going to have plenty of fruit over the course of 4 to 5 months, and that is a definite win for a backyard grower. So hopefully you're as excited as I am at this tree that's showing amazing growth after just 1 year being grafted. So if you have something similar in your home, with a little bit of care and some planning and some experimentation, you could do this on your own, or you could hire a professional in your area. If you're looking for somebody in Southern California, my name is Ben Kotnik. You can find me at suburbanfoodfarm.com, and I'm happy to come on out and help you with any problems or issues that you have. I also help people design properties for for functional landscapes that you can interact with, that definitely incorporate edibles, medicinal products, aesthetic, all sorts of different things. So thanks for joining us, and I hope you learned something.